What's going on? It's your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. In hip hop, we have these moments, special moments that we never see coming. If you had told somebody a year ago that A Tribe Called Quest would release another album, an album after 18 years of being absent, people would laugh in your face. They wouldn't believe it at all, but here we are. A Tribe Called Quest, their final album titled We Got It From Here. Thank you for your service. The title itself comes from Phife Dawg. And in a New York Times profile, Q-Tip was saying he doesn't know what it means. He just knows that Phife liked the title, and so it's kind of paying homage to him. So we might never understand what the title meant, but we can all have our own interpretations of it, that's for sure. This album is met with both sadness and happiness. I think the sad part is that Phife Dawg is no longer with us. He's not here to see the reception to the album, the incredible reception, everybody loving this project so far. He's not around to experience that. He's not going to be at SNL tonight. It's a very sad fact. But at the same time, you have to feel a sense of happiness because Q-Tip and Phife Dawg were able to patch up their differences from over the years, come together for one final album. Like, nobody saw that coming. Even more so, it kind of warms my heart a little bit just knowing that Q-Tip and Phife were able to have this kind of closure. I think if Phife had passed away and the two never made up, it would weigh a lot on Q-Tip for the rest of his life. But I think now, even though it's going to be rough, it's hard, it's tough, he's able to sort of accept it a little bit more because they were able to make up and come together for this album. Luckily for me, when I started listening to this album, I didn't have all the guest features in the track titles. So I got to experience this album without having, the knowledge that, oh, Kendrick Lamar's going to come in here. I mean, there was a couple, the Kendrick feature and the Andre 3000 and the Anderson .Paak. It's like those ones I saw online because blogs were posting those records. But everybody else, from Busta Rhymes to Consequence to Jack White to Kanye and Talib Kweli, like these are people that I wasn't expecting. I was surprised and I loved it because with A Tribe Called Quest, they have this chemistry together. Like, them as just a group. They have a chemistry that's proven. Their legacy is already cemented. Yeah. But they bring in these guests this time around. And there is a lot of features on here. But at the same time, a lot of the features, they make sense. It makes sense to have Busta Rhymes on 4 songs. It makes sense to have Consequence on a couple. Kendrick fits in well. Andre fits in well. On the day that the album came out, Questlove posted a long Instagram post about the album, and he said that Andre 3000 would be an acceptable member of A Tribe Called Quest if they ever decided to kind of add a new member. Not to replace Phife, but just if they wanted to keep going. And I thought that was perfect because the record kids, I love the chemistry between Q-Tip and Andre. And I think that goes back to what I'm about to say about the guest features, is that none of them feel like they're just placed in the song. These feel like guest features that were worked on extensively. Like, you have Busta Rhymes coming in, he raps a couple bars in Q-Tip, Ginger Roby. At first, I felt like Kanye West's guest feature on The Killing Season was mediocre. All he did was a hook, and he only did a few words out of that. I felt like if you're going to be on a Tribe album, you have to make it a special moment. You have to really work hard. And so at the time, I feel like Kanye was just going that lazy route again. But I've kind of grown to appreciate it a little bit more. If it sounds like a record that I think it all comes together. I think out of everybody on the album, Kanye's feature is probably the least favorite. But I can appreciate it now, and I can see why it fits into the song. And then we have to talk about the production on this. If you listen to this album, you're not going to think it came out in 2016. This sounds like a vintage Tribe Called Quest album, from the drums to the jazz samples or just the jazz sounds in general. I felt like all of the production was on point. It's almost like they haven't aged at all. And so not aging kind of comes with this satisfaction for fans that were expecting A Tribe Called Quest to make music that is true to their legacy. As well as, I think it stands out in 2016. Nobody raps like Q-Tip. Nobody in 2016 has records that sound like Conrad Tokyo or The Donald, which is a beautiful tribute to Phife Dawg. I think if you're going to do a tribute, I get that people want to kind of attack it from like a sad angle, but I feel like if a Tribe Called Quest did that, it would feel weird. That's why The Donald, to me, works. It fits into this album because if, per se, this is your first time listening to Phife Dawg, ever, you get a verse from him, so you get to see, like, why he was the person that he was, why he was so praised. And then you have Busta Rhymes really laying in, like, a really catchy tribute to him, and I just love it. I felt like it was one of the strong records on the album, and really, there are no weak records on the album. I felt like if you're a Tribe Called Quest fan, you're not going to leave this album being disappointed. Now, everybody has a different opinion, so maybe somebody else feels a different way. If you do, let me know in the comment section below. We Got It From Here kind of has a political edge to it, and I feel like these songs stand out even more considering the election nightmare that we just witnessed this week. And it's crazy because if you had talked about this album a week ago, you wouldn't have predicted how relevant it would be to this day and age. On Conrad Tokyo, Phife raps about why America is allowing this Trump fuckery. And I think when he recorded it, it was just like an idea. It was just like a thought, like, man, this guy could become president. Now that he is president, it's like eerie that the line kind of takes on a more relevant role than when it was recorded. The other record that I wanted to highlight on the political side was We the People. You have Q-Tip taking a satire approach on the hook. All you black folks, you must go. Muslims and gays, we hate your ways. Like, he's really kind of channeling his inner Trump for a bit of satire. And then in the verses, Q-Tip references VH1's reality shows that provide a mindless escape. And then he also talks about gentrification. Phife raps about a dream where women are all equal. So I felt like that record in particular was another strong showing of the chemistry between them all. And I think it also speaks to how they approach music. They do things in a way that nobody else does it. You can't listen to, like, We the People and then listen to, like, YG's Fuck Donald Trump. Like, they have no similarities. They have a similar message, but in terms of their approach, and I don't feel like anybody can do what a Tribe Called Quest has done. With a legacy that was already cemented back in the 90s, one final A Tribe Called Quest album is kind of like discovering a bonus secret level in your favorite video game. It's not necessary, but overall it enhances the game. And I feel like this album, We Got It From Here, Thank You For Your Service, does nothing but enhance the legacy of A Tribe Called Quest. Not only that, it puts on the group to a new generation. You have new fans who are going to discover this album because they see all the hype on Twitter, on their favorite blogs. Everybody's talking about it, so they're going to listen, check it out. Hopefully they love it, and then they're going to go back and listen to A Tribe Called Quest's discography. If you were to play the songs on this final album to somebody who's never heard of Tribe Called Quest, and then you kind of blended in some of the old stuff, like from Low End Theory, you can really pass all this music off as, like, in the 90s, in that golden era. And I think that is what makes We Got It From Here, Thank You For Your Service, a memorable album. It's not only a fitting end to A Tribe Called Quest's discography, but it's one of the year's best albums overall. So those are my thoughts on We Got It From Here, Thank You For Your Service. Let me know what you think about this album in the comment section below, and then like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video, follow me on Twitter @SermonsDomain, and as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching, and until next time, long live Phife Dawg. Peace.